You desire? Him. Oh, Talia! You finally came to play. I've been waiting for you. Of course you've been waiting for me. We've already dueled at the gates to the city, if your little bird brain can remember that far back. True. Well, welcome to the Dolaran Academy of Magic. Here's your first lesson in deadly combat. Magic. Die! What? Give your orders.
Dolaran was the capitalist metropolis and home to...
Ha! Had enough? Or do you want more? You think that's enough to defeat me? I'm going to show you a whole world of pain. Uh-oh. I'm the Queen of Evil! Desire? Desire. Okay, I've had enough. Now, feel the power of the Moonstone. I mean, Dolaran. I mean, whatever. Die! I am the evil. Dolaran will survive any crisis. I am the evil. What do you want me to do? Head. This cannot be the end. Good always wins.
One might think Sailor Overmoon hadn't done her research. Let's hope she stays dead, too.
We could turn her into an undead. Ha ha ha! What a wonderfully nasty thought. Ooh, even I found that funny. Honestly? But you're the good one of the two of us. Well, I have to develop somehow. I can see we've fallen into evil. Denying it is exhausting. Is this some kind of trick?
Daughter, what have you done? First Grimly, and now Yaina too. Don't expect any mercy from me. I will find you and stop you. My army is approaching Doloran, and then we will talk.
Yeah, bring it on.
Much as I hate to interrupt the various dialogues, Tanos was still a powerful opponent whom Talia wasn't yet ready to meet. So there was no shame in running away to gain more power before facing this battle.
Coward. All right, fall back. I need a break after that battle.
The invincible Evil's army took Doloran by storm and captured the hearts of its inhabitants. And I mean that literally. Strange hobby, but hey, others collect stamps and such. And the mighty Yaina Overproud too kicked the daisies and saw the bucket from below. Well, that didn't make much sense. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that happens when you hire translators that just run the text through Google Translate. But that's enough digression for now. So, Yaina was dead, and Talia and the fabled Evil's army hit the road before Tanos showed up. Soon after, he stood over his companion's corpse. He could do nothing but mourn. And again he screamed his pain into the world with a long, drawn-out "No!" in a manner suspiciously reminiscent of Grimnir's death, which of course had absolutely nothing to do with going easy on the game's budget. Meanwhile, the fleet set sail for the mainland. Once the army was back on solid land, Talia torched the captured ships. She currently had no use for them. Yeah, I know. But villains never were big into foresight. Then the cruel Evil's army moved deeper into the countryside, towards a place called Serenity. The end of Yaina Overproud. The victorious Evil's armies had stormed Doloran, but the sneaky magician Yaina Overproud had teleported both herself and Crowley deeper into the city with a spell. Now, Talia set about leading the troops. Once upon a catapult, Termite Island lay in ruins, but the marauding Evil had not yet finished its international destruction tour. The next performance was scheduled. Skeptical of all life evil, had left Termite Island far behind it, and had come ashore very close to the quiet town of Serenity. Serenity was a quiet little town, mainly known for being the world's greatest arms exporters. This in itself was not a contradiction, for as quiet and peaceful as Serenity was, somewhere in the world there was always someone who needed arms. And the quiet and peaceful inhabitants of Serenity were more than willing to supply others with instruments of death, including the solvent Evil's armies, as long as the price was right. Now, however, that was going to be their downfall, as the all-destroying Evil had no intention of allowing anyone to supply its enemies with weapons. And so it was that Serenity's fate was sealed.
But there's a huge army in Serenity that doesn't look the least bit serene. It's more likely to be a problem.
On the other hand, there were a number of armories near Serenity with siege engines on their lots. These would certainly be useful for making that huge army somewhat smaller.
Excellent idea! Go, you vicious dogs! Capture those armories, and then we'll go give the good people of Serenity a demonstration of their own products. Call it targeted advertising.
好，等一下。
Once upon a catapult, Termite Island lay at...
30分内。
《 no one has arachnophobia. A spider nest has been discovered. It's payday.
Evil! I will destroy this land.
The people of Serenity were concerned. While as weapons dealers they were accustomed to negotiating with the most disgusting creatures, having the despicable Evil's army right at their doorstep was still disconcerting. So they sent a troop out to discreetly persuade the new arrivals to move. Obviously, they didn't count on the insidious killer machine the guileful Evil had already built in its dungeon.
No! I'll be back.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Evil. Destroy the good! I will destroy this land. Give your orders. Sure showed him. You desire? I knew you'd need it. Time to take out the trash. Ouch! Ouch! Ha 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 ha! I am the Queen of Evil. Give your orders. I am the evil. Time to take out the trash. Destroy them all. Who do you want killed? I knew you. What can I do for you? I am the evil. Evil will triumph. Time to take out the trash. Destroy them all! Ooh-ah! Good will fall!
It's payday.
Give your orders. What can I do for you? I want Tanos's head. And stay down! What?
There are enemies in your dungeon.
I am even more powerful! Death to all that is good! Take me to the enemy! Time to take out the trash. What's up? Yeah? What can I do? I am the Queen of Evil. What? Good will fall. Evil will triumph. What do you want to do? What? Yeah? Everything good must die.
Serenity's army was almost indecently large. The leader on duty therefore decided to send a punitive expedition into the overworked Evil's dungeon. Naturally, they didn't have a chance down there. In addition, those cowards in Serenity also sent out a well-equipped patrol to cause trouble in the overworld, but only trouble for evil creatures, of course.
Yeah? Who do you want dead? I will destroy this land.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Ouch! Ouch! What?
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
I will destroy this land.
The unstoppable Evil's army had taken the eastern armory and captured a catapult.
Ah, a catapult. Excellent. We can sow chaos and destruction. How does this thing work?
This was one of those newfangled point-and-click catapults, which could be fired fully automatically without a crew. Very handy indeed. Just press the appropriate button, select the target, designate it, and away you go.
Command me. What can I do for you?
There are enemies in your dungeon. It's payday.
I want Thanos' head. To all that is good. Destroy the good.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's the death-dealing catapult shot. Ha 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 ha!
Oh, hey! Evil will triumph. Give your orders. What's up?
The scouting around Evil's army had discovered an armory. The siege weapons there would be perfect for its arsenal.
Excellent! Let's take it! Forward the army of evil!
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's the death-dealing catapult shot. Ha 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 ha! A wonderful hit that was rewarded with moans and the sound of cracking bones. Excellent. The greedy evil had taken an armory and gotten a siege weapon in its greedy, clawed hands.
Excellent. We should field test it as soon as possible.
Boom! The catapults had delivered their deadly cargo into the air. Hit and sunk. This catapult shot is going to leave a lasting impression. Catapult shot. Fly and win. A wonderful hit that was rewarded with moans and the sound of cracking bones. Excellent.
That's one of those armories. Go, destroy that, capture that thing.
The catapult shot landed on Serenity's defenders with a juicy smack. Ha ha ha!
Ouch! What do you want me to do?
Boom! The catapults had delivered their deadly cargo into the air. A wonderful hit that was rewarded with moans and the sound of cracking bones.
What do you want then? I am the evil.
The weapon freak Evil's army had taken the Western Armory and captured a catapult. The unstoppable Evil had now captured all 3 catapults. They would be perfect for blowing Serenity into handy, fist-sized pieces of rubble. Let the games begin.
That's how it looks. Open fire. Give 'em hell. Take no prisoners.
Boom! The catapults had delivered their deadly cargo into the air. The catapult shot landed on Serenity's defenders with a juicy smack. Ha ha ha!
orders.
Payday.
Give your orders. I will destroy this land.
Boom! The catapults had delivered their deadly cargo into the air. Hit and sunk. This catapult shot is going to leave a lasting impression.
Who do you want killed?
Catapult shot. Fly and win. Boom! The catapults had delivered their deadly cargo into the air. The catapult shot landed on Serenity's defenders with a juicy smack. Ha ha ha! Catapult shot. Fly and win.
What's up?
The malicious evil's army ran across a patrol from Serenity.
Who do you want dead?
Hit and sunk. This catapult shot is going to leave a lasting impression.
Thanos must die!
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
What? What do you want me to do?
Hit and sunk. This catapult shot is going to leave a lasting impression. The dungeon heart is being attacked. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's the death-dealing catapult shot. Ha 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 ha! Hit! Serenity had increased its defensive forces. More enemies, more honor, thought the unscrupulous evil, and continued to work on this.
Right. There'll never be a better time to attack. Follow me, evil creatures! For me! I mean for the deviant evil! Cut them down, pillage and burn! Give them wedgies! Baby. Everything evil above. What's up? Command me.
work,
must
men.
die.
It's payday.
Time to take out the trash. Destroy them all. I am the evil. Evil is unstoppable. Ow! I will destroy this land.
The necromantic evil had built a crypt. There, undead were able to resurrect any horde creatures who bit the dust. This would most likely lead to the troops our cannon fodder evil being even less careful with them. Well, the wicked evil's creatures fell upon Serenity and began decimating the defenders. Uncertain at first, a lack of alternatives led them to fight back against the invaders.
They're going to regret that. Destroy them! Poke out their eyes, tweak their noses, give them the finger! Time to die! For the enemy, I mean. I am the evil. I knew you'd need me.
Serenity had been razed to the ground. The destructive evil's army had done a great job here. The hostile evil briefly mourned its former weapons dealer, but then shrunk. Somewhere out there, it would find a new supply. Talia instructed the army to march further north towards the coast. Why? Well, we don't want to give that away just yet.
Exactly! Let's get going! Let's go!
What happened to your good side?
My good... Oh, no idea. Good question. But it's kind of refreshing when she keeps her gob shut, isn't it?
Well, I can't argue with you there. And so, the evil's army marched off once more. The hungry, hungry ogre. What was it with the perverted evil in those ships, anyway? Why did it always destroy them instead of saving them for another day? As may be, the legendary evil's army once again stood on the coast, wanting to set sail. But this time for the not-quite-so-free cities. But, as I said, it needed a ship to do so. Fortunately, the harbour town of Lotsawinter was not far off, and luckily there was an ally in the area. The gruesome evil's army once again stood on the coast of the Western Kingdoms. There, off the coast, lay the not-quite-so-free cities, a place of indecent wealth. In the planned march on the capital, there was no way these cities could be left standing, as otherwise they would attack the tactical evil from behind. To get there, it needed a ship. Again, we've been here before. Since the capable evil's creatures were still incapable of producing anything that floated, they had to borrow them from the natives. Nearby lay the harbour town of Lotsawinter, home to many famous heroes and a famous seafaring town. Unfortunately, Lotsawinter was extremely well guarded and a meeting place for extremely experienced, not to say high-level heroes. The prepared-to-make sacrifices evil's miserable creatures wouldn't stand a chance here.
Then why are we here? That doesn't make any sense.
Easy there. However, a mighty creature was camped nearby, an ogre. Its fighting prowess would allow it to meet Lotsawinter's defenders head-on. But first of all, the creature had to be persuaded to join the forces of evil.
No problem. I'll just promise him a beating if he doesn't get a move on.
Interesting idea, but I did just say that he's really powerful, didn't I? He'd mop the floor with everything we could muster against him.
Well, let's have a look at him first then. Talk first, fight later. What do you want me to do?
Lotsawinter's heroes were somewhat underemployed and always on the lookout for treasures and problems. Accordingly, the not-so-secret evil's creatures were soon spotted, and a group of adventurers immediately set out to beat the stuffing out of these walking experience points.
Yeah, just let them come. Tear their heads off, bite their fingernails. What? I knew you'd need me.
The absolute evil's little snots had dug out a new room.
I will
Your little
destroy
snots
this
have
land.
dug out a room. Payday. A giant worm has been sighted in the dungeon.
Hey, keep your hands to yourself. Lead me to the battle. Ow!
Your little snots have dug out a room. Did you know that ogres like to eat sheep? I mean, lots of sheep. I mean, lots and lots and lots of sheep. This tremendous appetite is only surpassed by their record-breaking thirst for beer. There are enemies in your dungeon.
On the enemy. Ouch! My orders.
dragons have nested in the underground.
And me. I am even more powerful.
Payday.
Show him.
There are countless spiders pouring out of a room that was accidentally unearthed. Disgusting.
Oh! Ow!
Your little snots have dug out a new room. Your little snots have dug out a room. Heroes are on their way to one of your islands of evilness. Spider nest has been unearthed.
Destroy the good! Where are you taking me?
From the book, Ogres for Dummies. Ogres are really heavy drinkers. Their beer consumption is legendary. Once, 2 ogres got into a drinking contest and consumed the year's supply of an entire dwarven kingdom in just 1 day.
I am the evil.
Having a look around Evil's army had reached the ogre.
Hey, I am Ogre.
Obviously, this creature wouldn't be winning any intelligence contests.
Me happy help you. Moshing heroes fun. But me little thirsty. Before me start, should drink something.
Of course, it couldn't be that easy. A large quantity of beer would first have to be delivered to the ogre in order to convince him to help out. With a groan, the Brewmaster Evil set to work.
Okay, you nasty little creatures, you heard the word. Time to brew some beer. Move! Hit those brewing kettles. I want to smell barley instead of mold down here. Okay, Ogre, we brought you your beer. Now it's time. Wait a minute, where did the beer go? Did you already? And hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Stay where you are. We have a city to attack.
Beer make Ogre hungry. Ogre get quick snack.
The ogre greedily staggered towards a small nearby farm. The sheep could be heard bleating happily, which quickly turned into a panicked bleating as the sheep saw the ogre approach.
I'm the Queen of Evil. I knew it. You desire? What do you want me to do? Thanos must die! Good
Yummy,
report.
tasty sheep.
The ogre decimated the sheep instead of attacking Lotsawinter. It was obvious that Talia was unable to get this beast under control, much to the impatient evil's displeasure.
What? Why is it now my problem when that stupid meatbag gets distracted by a couple of sheep?
Well, I'm just the narrator, not the General of Evil. Anyway, there was a repulsively good town very close by, which could perhaps be brought closer to evil in the meantime.
Fine, let's take care of it. Get out of there, twist their arms, smear finger paint in their eyes.
Ogre now, fool.
Wow! How many did you eat there, greedy guts?
Well, one sheep, two sheep, three sheep, four.
Oh, crap.
And now he's taking a nap. My goodness, my grandchildren will be doing the narration by the time he attacks the town. Anyway, seeing as how ogres were hardcore alcoholics, one could assume that 1 or 2 or 20 or so beers would wake him up. With a heartfelt groan, the beer brewing evil went back to work.
I want Tanos's head.
And again, the ogre was supplied with a truly absurd amount of beer, which he tossed down in just a few seconds.
Okay, that will have to do for now. Get a move on, roly-poly. It's time to flatten lots of winter.
Okay, but Ogre bit rusty. Ogre must do warm-up fight. Probably opponents in forest. Opponents good for warm-up fight. Opponents from forest maybe also burn for small fire later.
What? Wait, where are you going? But the city is... No! Come back, you idiots!
And so it was that the armies of evil set out to follow the ogre, away from lots of winter.
Evil.
Hey! Those opponents! Time to mosh!
It's payday. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Will triumph! Ah! What can I do for you? What's up? The Queen of Evil. Command me. I knew you'd need me.
The ogre stubbornly ran ahead and turned left at a fork in the path. The cautious evil wondered what there was to discover in the other direction. Should it explore? Undaunted, the ogre sprinted onward.
Power is indescribable.
Ah, real opponents, it's clobbering time! Ouch! Hey! For you, amends!
The ogre had found a worthy opponent for his warm-up training. The fight was on.
That was good fight, but... Ogre very tired now. Take short nap, then we must...
Again? Again? Will this never end?
As the ogre's turgid little eyes closed in sleep and he happily began to snore, a large party of adventurers set out from lots away. They had accepted the quest to kill the ogre.
Kill the ogre? After all the work we put into that whole thing? Ugh, like hell! Rock 'em, sock 'em, tie their shoelaces together.
Ouch! Ogre head hurts. Blow's not good for ogre. I need healing beer. That make head so light.
Beer. Beer. My word, does it ever stop?
Obviously not. The foreseeing evil had anticipated something like this and had already gone into production. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
What's up? What can I do for you? Evil triumph.
The dungeon heart is being attacked.
Yeah? Hey!
Payday.
Hey! Keep your hands to your...
The quick evil lost no time in delivering the beer to the ogre.
That strengthened ogre. Ogre now ready to fight.
Excellent! That's music to my ears.
Music? Oh, ogre good musician. Ogre like make music. Wait, sure.
Wait, no! Oh, what have I done?
You're doing that on purpose, right? We'll never reach that damn city if you keep distracting that stupid ogre with all sorts of nonsense. Gosh, I'd love to work with professionals. Just once. Where did I put my pen?
Who do you want to kill? I want Thanos' head. Yeah?
So, can start music. I in band, by the way, called OGRE. Short for okra, garlic, radish, ears. I think. Somehow forgot. Is solo band. But before I start, I might need some beer. I mean, musician sober, really.
More beer? Honestly?
The stressed evil had already seen something like this coming and was tired of the discussions. It set about brewing the barrels of beer. The attack on Lotsawinter would have to work sooner or later.
I am the Queen of Evil.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Evil energy grows stronger. I am even stronger.
That help. Now I can start. Ogre solo.
That's deafening. I mean, intoxicating.
My goodness, what kind of an amateurish cacophony is that? It's like someone ground an out-of-tune piano between two millstones. That's repulsive.
Who insult ogre music? You'll die for that!
Finally, the ogre tore through Lotsawinter's city walls and entered an enraged battle with the critics of his disgusting, marvelous music. Yeah, you show 'em a left, a right, and a jab. Jab!
All right.
I am the Queen of Evil. Everything good must die. I down! Yeah? Who do you want killed?
Heroes want to attack one of your islands of evilness.
Oh, dang!
An island of evilness is being attacked. The enemy has captured one of your islands of evilness.
You desire?
The ogre had done a truly artful job of reducing lots of winter to a pile of smoking rubble. Luckily, the harbor escaped the destruction, as the insidious evil still wanted to visit the not-quite-so-free cities.
Very nice. We really cleaned house here too. Tanos will be raging. So then all the creatures on board and anchors away. Arr!
What happened to your good side?
Ah, no idea. Probably lying on some psychiatrist's couch telling him what a rough childhood she had. Loser.
Isn't that your... Oh, never mind. The Fable Evil's army made ready for departure.
Hey, can I come? But I might need a beer for the road.
Ups and downs. The relentless evil had reached the